Hello, people of the live stream. I don't see anything yet. Hold on. Is this happening? Yes. Okay. Alrighty. So, first of all, before we get started tonight, the past 2 nights there's been like people insulting me in the chat, and then other people are like, "What? Or go away," and the person's like, "No," and it's just been a lot of drama and. It's not even the insult that bothers me, really. It's just like I wanted to relive my memories with friends that care about my memories or new people that wander into the chat. And tonight, let's just, if someone says something, we're gonna pretend like we didn't even see it. That'll really drive them crazy. Okay, so tonight we are continuing Minnesota, the final 2 videos. Hi Jorge, welcome. But where we last left off, I had gotten injured. My Achilles tendon, I think, was just overworked or something. And not every time I took a step, but a lot of times it was hard to walk. I would keep going, oh, and it was just not a good time. So I was in Silver Bay, halfway through the trail, and we're gonna watch the rest tonight. Thank you for that. Also, for anyone who hasn't been here the past 2 days, normally when I go live, I like it to be a back and forth conversation. I love chatting with you all, but internet person, hello. For this, while the chat is coming up on the side of the screen, I might wave to you if you're saying hi or bye or nod along or something, but I'm trying to not answer out loud because I'm trying to watch the video, no interruptions. David, Rod, hey you guys, welcome. We got a good group here already. This is going to be a good night, I can feel it. Alright, so without further ado, let's pull up the the video itself, what we're all here for. Imagine spending a night in a hotel after a week and a half camping in the backcountry. There's hot, fresh food in town, and you're healing your body and treating yourself. And then one day turns to 2 because more rest is needed. And you can afford some self-compassion. But you came here to hike. So back to the trail it is. This shot is so unlevel back in these early videos. And the sound... That was the craziest wind I've ever been in. I made it! Look! This is an iconic place on this trail. I'm so glad to be here. This is absolutely beautiful. This is really one of the best days I think you could come back to. I brought myself a little treat from civilization. A wrap and a peach. No peanut butter on a tortilla for me today. That's what I always had. Every single day, peanut butter on a tortilla. Welcome to Mount Trudy. I don't know if there's a view or this is the view. Oh, there is this for a view. That was so awesome. A lot of big views that day.
one time I was like, I don't know if there's gonna be any views.
That's an interesting looking bridge.
Okay, so funny story. When I started the trail, I saw that the maps came in 6 sections, right? So I thought, oh, okay, like, you can resupply along the way. But, like, that's a normal thing to think, right? Wouldn't you think so? Well, apparently not, because I bought 1 through 3. Gonna buy more in Silver Bay, but they didn't have any. So I am at Tenagooch State Park. I had to walk a mile to the visitor center. And then, when I got there to buy 4, 5, and 6, they only had 5 and 6. So I was like, am I just not going to have a map for like 50 miles? I don't know what to do. But then, a guy that was there, just another customer, just another visitor at the visitor center, was like, hey, I heard you say you need map 4, here, you can have my copy. And I was like, yes, hero of the day. And so now I'm set to go. I am kind of bummed out about having to walk a mile there, a mile back, but I didn't have to take my pack, so at least that's something.
That was so nice of that guy to give me that map. I really needed it. And there was nowhere else. The people that worked there kept being like, oh, you could drive to this state park and see if they have maps. And I was like, I keep telling you, I am a thru hiker. I don't have a car. Good thing, though.
I'm not doing too hot right now. My tendon going up from my left heel is giving me a lot of trouble. And I rested it for 2 days. But today it just feels back to the way it was. Like all that rest was for nothing. Finally made it. Even though that took me almost an hour and a half to walk 2.3 miles.
I think this campsite I was with people, and that's why I didn't say anything.
Day 12, I believe, and I am hoping to go 15 miles today. And hopefully I can prepare to do a really big day, like 25 or 30 miles tomorrow. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so embarrassed. Okay, I gotta tell you this story. Last night, I met these 2 dudes at the campsite. So today, I was walking, and I saw them, and I was like, yo, what's up? They didn't really say much, they weren't as chatty, but I was kind of barreling through. Then, as I'm walking away, I'm listening to their conversation, and like, from the context, I either walked through while the one guy was like mid-pee or just about to. So as I'm walking away, my face is turning beet red. I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not realize. Why didn't you warn me? But that's my inspiration to walk fast today. I don't think I can look that guy in the eyes ever again. Don't want to run into him, so putting some distance between me and them.
That was so embarrassing, but that was their fault for peeing in the middle of a trail. Yes, this is one of my favorite places right here.
Slightly sprinkling. This bush I'm sitting under really isn't doing anything because the rain's coming from this way. At first I thought a little sprinkle would be good, but then the wind picked up. So I left my stuff with my rain cover on and came and hid next to this rock. It's not really protecting all of me, but I did the best I could.
Hey, John Swan.
I can't even begin to tell you all how good it smells up here. It smells like pine needles and rain and fresh air. The rain is falling on my face and it cools me down. Plus it's just like, I feel immersed in nature.
It was such a cool moment.
I think this is my favorite view so far. It's so cool, so rugged, so wide open.
Another song by my little brother. Hey, Jose. I used background music a lot more back then. Those flowers were everywhere. I love them. Look at that
That's
mud.
almost knee-deep mud.
Oh, man.
It won't
Hey,
come
Rain
out.
Rain. Welcome. Hey, Wendy. Gang's all here.
Yuck.
You all made it just in time for one of the
This
most
is
interesting
my
parts.
biggest "are you kidding me" moment. Oh my gosh. Do you think that looks that deep? Because I didn't. People told me to expect mud and mosquitoes on the SHT if I went in June. I took them seriously, but I didn't picture scraping knee-deep mud off myself while I fight away mosquitoes.
I don't know what they were, Les. Maybe they were bluebells. Or lupine, maybe.
Even with me wringing my shoes out, they're still really squishy. But I don't know what else to do. It's my only pair of shoes. As I was standing up from getting some of the mud out of my shoes, I heard some thunder in the distance. It was so far away, I just kept going, but just now, it's been like 5 minutes, there was a flash of lightning, and 8 seconds later, a roll of thunder. So if it's 8 miles away, and it's not actively storming, like, I don't know what to do. Like, if there was some sort of cave or rock outcrop, if there was a cave or rock outcrop around here, definitely I would take shelter, but like, where am I supposed to take shelter among all these trees? So I'm in between the last campsite and the campsite I had planned for tonight. I'm gonna keep going and just hope for the best. So it seems to me like the storm is in that dark cloud right there, and where I am, we're okay. We're just gonna hear the thunder and have some of the wind, but the storm isn't actually on top of me. And if you're wondering what I would do if it was on top of me, 1, you lay down in a ditch, don't care about getting wet. And then if you're like in a wide open field, there's nothing to protect you, what you do is squat and put your 2 hands like this. That's lightning position. Always have a plan, folks.
I don't think you're actually supposed to go in a cave if there is one, because the rocks can move around and crush you.
And the rain keeps getting harder and lighter on and off. And I'm the lowest in elevation that I'm going to be for a little bit. And I was just like, okay, now's the time, take shelter. I found this spot underneath the tree, a tree that's a little dry, so at least there's that.
Look how dirty those legs are. Gross.
I'm about to set out again. Haven't heard thunder in a while. My hands look like this, and my feet look about the same, plus the wet socks, plus the wet shoes. Gonna get some blisters. It's hailing. It's been a really eventful couple of hours. So the sun's out now. You know, that's a good thing. But as I was just going to fill up my water down there, I slipped on a rock, hit my left knee really hard on the rock, and my right foot went in the water. So, it's just the day of wet shoes. I made it. I'm here. And first order of business, hang stuff to dry. Second order of business, bug spray. I'm going to attempt 30 miles just for fun. It's not about, like, trying to be the fastest, trying to be the best, but I was just like, I wonder how many miles I could walk if I really, really tried. So, I'm gonna try tomorrow.
What do you guys think? Will I hike 30 miles?
It's big mileage day. My shoes feel even wetter than before. But a good thing is it's going to be cooler today, so hopefully that helps. Right now I'm just trying to get ready as fast as I can. It's like 6:10 right now. I'm about to put on my wet shoes. Yuck. It's cold, but it actually isn't that wet. It is 8 o'clock and I'm on the trail, which really frustrates me because there are days when I've had a full hot breakfast and coffee and got on the trail in 2 hours. So, really disappointed, but it was cold, it was wet, so everything was dirty, and there was a swarm of mosquitoes outside my tent, so I did the best I could. Sorry, buddy, but I gotta go around ya. And here we have 4-leaf clovers number 10 and 11. Well, we got a girl down. I just slipped. Going down this gravelly downhill, I could feel my feet slide out from under me. My butt hit the ground. It was pretty soft. I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then this guy decides to ram into my armpit with all the force in the world.
Yeah, that hurts so bad.
So I go, ah. And then I wanted to vlog it because I thought it was pretty funny. Honestly, while I am having some trouble getting up. I just don't want to. I don't feel like walking anymore. Okay.
I got so tired of walking.
Sometimes you just gotta complain and then go ahead and do it. And the complaining makes it a little better, but you still get up and do it anyway. Oh my gosh, this is okay. Whew.
This is another really cool place on this trail, the covered bridge.
So it's 5 o'clock and I think it's more than 5 miles to my goal, and I just really don't feel like it anymore, so I'm probably not going to set a personal best. It'll just be 20 miles for today, and you know that's what I've been doing in a normal day, so that kind of stinks because I've been trying really hard, especially today, but oh well, it's something. I thought about hiking 2 more miles to the next campsite, but I just can't do it. I don't have anything left in me. Oh, sorry, my feet really hurt. But the thing of it is, I wanted to find out how far I could hike in a day, and I did. I can hike 20 miles. Case closed.
Hi, CL.
I cold soaked my ramen all day so I wouldn't have to bother with fixing dinner. Of course, it's only 6:30, so I could fix dinner just fine. I have plenty of time, but I don't want to, and I already have this. It definitely smells good, but I feel like this part isn't as cooked or soaked up enough water as this part. We'll see. And the verdict is... it's not bad. Tastes like cold ramen. Oh my goodness. I forgot that I didn't really calculate the mileage exactly. I was just looking at the map and guessing because I didn't have the mileage from campsite to campsite. But then from Facebook, I found this document that has all the campsites listed out and the distances between them, and I just added it up. I actually did 25.3 miles, and I thought I just did 20. 20 or 15 is what I usually do, so super proud of myself. Plus, that explains why I've been so sore walking around this campsite. I'm walking around hunched over so slowly, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like I just hiked 20 miles today. I'm normally not this sore. Just calculated how much I had left and worked backwards to see how much longer the trail is going to take me, and it's going to be about a week, which is really nice to have an end in sight. Looking forward to it. The 15-mile days are still going to be pretty strenuous, though, because of lots of elevation coming up. Good night.
Thank you, Coffee Traveling. That's so nice of you to say.
Got a slug trail all over my sock. These are the things that only happen when you're hiking. I have one bad blister, but other than that, I'm not really feeling the effects of yesterday's big hike too much. I really feel pretty good. This time next week, I'll be finishing up the trail. You know, I am actually really looking forward to having clean clothes, and if I want more to eat, I can go get more to eat. Which, as soon as I had that thought, I also had the thought that there's people all over the world that don't have that. There's a lot of people without food or clean clothes. It makes you remember how much you have to be able to do stuff like this, and it makes you want to help other people too, because no one should go their whole life feeling like this. I think I might have found the perfect lunch spot. It's only 11:30, but it's in the shade, rocks to lean against, and I get this as a view. This place is so epic.
Yes, another good memory from this trail. I love this place. Look at the shadow. Well, maybe not in this, but watching the clouds move was so cool. The socks weren't too wet from the slime, from the slug. Oh my gosh, horrible sound. What was I thinking? Sorry for your ears, everyone. What was I thinking? Oh my goodness.
Well, I have a funny story for y'all. And yes, it does have to do with pee again. Okay, so before I sat down to eat my lunch, I had to go to the bathroom, but the woods were pretty thick, and so I just kind of stepped off trail and squatted behind a little mini Christmas tree. And I thought, no one's around anyway. I'm peeing. And the next thing I know, I look up and two people are on the trail right in front of me. And I'm like, shoot, I don't know what to do. Because if I say, oh, don't look at me, you know, your first instinct is like, who's talking to me? What are you saying? So I just stayed there squatted down, being quiet, prayed they didn't turn around and look at me, and they never did. I don't know, maybe they saw me when they were coming and they were just, we don't see anything. But, oh my goodness, it was a close call.
If I had to guess, I think those people might have walked past me and not noticed me peeing. Oh my gosh, Pinfolio, yes, it would be the craziest twist of fate if it was them again. Oh gosh. Oh man, I forgot about this waterfall, this river. The rocks up there were so cool. Rocks are always cool though.
I took one of my first spur trails to Burton Peak, and it was a tough climb, but the view is so worth it. It's so amazing to look out over to the south and be like, I've been there. I've climbed those hills. I've crossed those rivers. What a view.
That's cool that Temperance River is in your backyard. That's great. I think on that lookout there were a bunch of people
Today
that wouldn't.
Had a lot of good views. It was cooler
weather-wise,
and miracle of miracles, my tendon wasn't hurting as bad. Even though I did 15 miles as opposed to yesterday's 25, I was still tired at the end. My feet still hurt. Usually towards the end of the day, I'm just like, oh, do I have to keep going? I'm so bored of hiking. I want to stop here. But I'm starting to do this thing where if I hike till 4 o'clock, I get to eat my little Cliff Bar. If I hike till 5 o'clock, I get to eat an applesauce. And just rewarding myself like a dog. But I am very excited for this campsite. Not only is it beautiful and pine tree, but I got a picnic table. The good thing about this trail is all the campsites have benches, which is really handy. But this one, I don't have to cook next to me and to the side. I can sit up straight and cook in front of me. Oh, can't wait.
That was a really nice campsite. They were all nice.
Here we go for fabulous day 15. Honestly, when I woke up, it didn't feel so fabulous. It was really hard to get going. But today I'm trying to see everything as it's a memory that I'm reliving. For example, I'm not going to say, oh, day 15, there were a lot of hills. I'm going to say, yeah, there was a lot of hills, but they didn't stop me. That is my philosophy for today. 4-leaf clover number 12.
That was a really good philosophy to start the day with. Trying to see everything as this is going to be a future memory. Exactly, Digitus extractus. That's another way to say it. Or, I mean, they're in the same vein.
I'm almost to my campsite for the night, and the idea I had at the beginning of the day, honestly, I forgot about it till about 4 o'clock. But by starting out my morning being really positive and thankful, made the whole rest of the day better. Changed my mindset. So it's been a really good day. Hiked really hard. The thing is, remember when I did big mileage day and I started out with wet shoes? Well, that gave me a blister that was like this big, and it felt like stepping on a little rock in your shoe, so I didn't really do anything about it. But now it's grown, I don't really know how, But now the whole entire bottom of my foot feels like I'm stepping on gravel barefoot every time I take a step. It really hurts. Once I get going, it kind of doesn't hurt as bad. But that was the downside of the day.
Yes, those were the worst blisters. Also, another really cool campsite.
I discovered the reason it felt like my blister grew is that I actually grew 3 new blisters. One on my longest toe, which is my second toe. I'm descended from royalty, I know. On the ball of my foot and on the corner of my heel. So no matter how I step, it really, really hurts. As you can tell, I'm kind of limping a little bit, but once I get going, I can walk at a more normal rate. Our first 5-leaf clover of the trail. So I'm just stopped for lunch. The campsite where I'm staying, so it won't be super great water, but that way I can clean off my clothes a little bit for my big trip into town tomorrow. So if you saw this word, how would you pronounce that? Marais? Marias? My favorite, mariachi, but really it's pronounced Murray. Like a Murray eel. I'm going
to
into
Murray
Great
eel,
Murray
that was a joke.
Not do a full overnight, but to get groceries, get a meal, and charge my power bank. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope I don't stink too bad. Okay, so I was really lowballing it when I said I might get to the campsite at 5 p.m. And the mileage might be wrong. And I was really pushing myself, but I'm so proud of myself. I made it, and it's only 3 p.m. I really do not want to attempt to do laundry and bathe in this pond. If I was standing behind someone in line at the grocery or riding in the same car as someone that smelled like they'd been sweating all day, every day for the past 7 days, it would just seem disrespectful to me. You know, you gotta take care of yourself if you want to be part of society. I hope society appreciates what I'm doing for them.
Oh my gosh, going into this pond was so squishy, and I was like, there's going to be a snapping turtle in here. There's going to be a water snake. Also, by the way, guys, this is not good for the environment because my sweat and stuff.
Snapping turtles.
My sweat and stuff is now in this water source, and it wouldn't be otherwise. It would be worse if it was like up in the mountains and it was very pristine, but anyway, it's not.
Well, at least I didn't have to do that when it was cold out.
It's not a great practice to do. I could have taken water away and then washed myself with it away from the
And now that that's
pond.
taken care of, I have a full hour before I have to start making dinner. So I'm going to do what I always wanted. Lay in the shade and eat snacks.
Notice I'm wearing leggings as a shirt and a raincoat as a skirt. It was so good to
making teriyaki noodles
relax.
tonight, and that's really fun because that's what I had the first night of the trip. So it's kind of coming full circle. I see this kind of as the end of this section of trail between Silver Bay and Grand Marais. Grand Mariachi, as some like to call it. It's been a really fun section. Definitely the most scenic. It's definitely come with its challenges, but it's been a good section, that's for sure. You know, all those lucky clovers I've been finding, they just paid off. So I was leaning over to set up the camera, but I knocked the pot off my stove. It flipped in the air. I thought the worst was going to happen. It landed on the ground, but it landed right side up. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy I didn't lose that.
I would have been
what
so
I was
upset.
about to say was, it's always interesting for me traveling to different states and noticing how the people in those states feel about living there. Like, being from Kentucky, it's just like, yeah, I'm from Kentucky. I've met people from Oklahoma that are like, I'm from Oklahoma. Minnesota, I've noticed, definitely, they're into being Minnesota. Not to the level of, like, Texas or Colorado, but they got pride. Being up here, I definitely see why. It's gorgeous. Similar to what I picture Canada being like. Lots of pine trees, lots of trees in general, beautiful big rivers, rolling hills, Lake Superior. Gorgeous. Beautiful pasta, by the way. I'm really looking forward to this next section of trail after Grand Mariachi, and I think it's going to be really challenging, but really cool at the same time. I know there is a lake walk where you're walking on pebbles. Just finishing is going to be so cool. And you are welcome to come along with me. I hope you do. Join me for next video. And also, thank you so much for watching this video. It really makes it more fun for me to share it with you guys. So, thanks again. See you next time.
You're so welcome, past Maddie. Aww, that was such a peaceful bird noise to end that with. But anyway, we'll let this load a bit, and then what I was going to tell you all was, let's see, to answer somebody's coffee traveling's question. In the winter months, I do have plans. I will be putting out videos. Of course, my documentary that I'm making over the whole road trip Brew-S-A, that's coming out December 7th. Then I'll be putting out videos like what the beer was like from state to state, what the nature was like, some of my like top 5 coolest rocks, or like places I would live for a year, places I would live for 5 years, kind of thing. So that's what's coming in December. And in January, I'm taking a trip on an airplane. I don't want to tell you where it is yet, but I'm very excited. And then after that, I have plans, but I don't want to tell you because I want it to be a surprise. But I'll definitely be here. Always putting out videos at least once a week, if not more. Also, another thing I wanted to bring up, I think the most important part of that video we just watched was I'm talking about how I'm kind of ready to be done with the trail and looking forward to having enough to eat and having clean clothes. And when I say having enough to eat, you could be thinking, did you just not bring enough? When you do a big long hiking trip like that, it's always you're always going to be hungry if you're hiking 15 or 20 miles a day. Rain, rain. I wish I was going to the UK. Is that where you're from? That's awesome. We shall see, guys. We shall see. But that part where I'm talking about wishing I had enough food and clean clothes, and then I'm like, but then I realize there's plenty of people all over the world that don't have those things because they can't really help it. And here I am doing this recreational long hiking trip and choosing to be without food or clothes. So it's really something you just got to remember every day. One of the things, the main reason I like thru hikes is because you remember how much you have in life, you know? When I was out there in that past video, I was in the rain, I was like, oh goodness, I am so glad. Oh wait, it wasn't that I was in the rain, it was that my shoes were covered in mud and everything. They got wet for a long time, but it just makes you appreciate what you have. So I'm hoping that, I don't know, just seeing this video and kind of being reminded of the lesson, hopefully that'll improve your life. Steve's Lounge, any new collaborations coming? Not that I have planned, honestly. I'm always thinking who is a little different from me, but still similar enough that the audience will be interested in both of us, but different enough that you're getting a different take. So no new collaborations that I'm thinking of yet, but I'm always thinking about it. I am in the Southwest, and a lot of van life people go to the Southwest in the winter to escape the cold. So hopefully I can make something happen. But as of now, not really. So anyway, without further ado, oh yeah, and I'll give you I'm in a hotel room. I will give you a tour after this video. Tell you how I got here today.
Our fourth and final story starts in Grand Marais, about 50 miles from the northern terminus. I spent about half the day in town, resupplying food, charging electronics, and enjoying plenty of hot food and cold beer. In fact, maybe a little bit too much hot food and cold beer.
Okay, funny story about why I ate and drank so much. Someone that my aunt knew lived in Grand Marais, so they gave me a ride into town. We hung out at a brewery, and they only had small plates to eat, just little snacks you could have with your beer. So because it's beer in beautiful places, and just because celebrating being on the trail, I did drink a lot of beer. And then it was the meal was over, time to go, and I'm still hungry. I drank a lot, sure, the brewery was fun, but I'm still really hungry. So I ended up going to another place. It was very expensive. I really should have told the person I was with, hey, first priority is food. Beer is on the back burner, but it's the kind of thing where someone's hosting you and you're just kind of along for the ride. You know, you don't want to be too picky when someone's doing you a favor. Okay, anyway, it wasn't all my fault why I ended up drinking more than eating in that time.
I'm so full. I feel disgusting. I really overdid it, which is similar to what happened when I went to Red River Gorge to backpack.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I never learned, do I, guys?
I guess I don't do that much anymore. That was
It was really hard leaving the comforts of, being in town, but it is pretty nice to come home to this. It's a chilly morning of day 18. I'm really excited about today because I get to see two things I've been looking forward to. The Devil's Kettle, just coming up in a few minutes this morning. And then later today, probably one of the last things, the lake walk.
Red squirrel. Look at all that red soil. I did not know Minnesota was like that.
I am absolutely famished this morning. So when I resupplied, I didn't want to get oatmeal because I only sell packets of oatmeal in large quantities. I only needed 6. So I was like, okay, why don't we trade things up and have Pop-Tarts for breakfast instead? Not very nutritious, but they're light, has a lot of calories, okay. But this morning I was so hungry. It's only 11:30 and I'm already stopped for lunch, and it took me a lot of pushing to make it this far, so That's kind of a bummer, because for the rest of the trip, I'm probably going to be hungry in the mornings. I did get a lot of snacks, so I'll survive. This is my favorite food of the entire thru hike. It's sweet. It has a big kick to it. Fishing and hunting mix by Good Sense. Actually, it's fish and hunting mix, but it's delicious. Would recommend.
That was so good, that trail mix.
When I was researching this trail and I found out there was a part of it where you walk along the lakeshore, that was something that really piqued my interest, and I was like, oh, cool. I've already done most of the trail, but I get to do this today. I think it may be pretty hard walking, but I think the view's going to be pretty nice, so I'm looking forward to it. Wow! This is huge! This is beautiful! It's so blue! I haven't even gone very far at all, and I'm already learning I'm gonna get a ton of rocks in my shoes. But it's so beautiful. I'm so excited I get to walk here.
I love this shot so much. This whole scene, I think, is so pretty. Such a good place. I still have that rock. I keep it in my driver's door.
After the lake walk wasn't marked at all. It's just this boardwalk type place. But the lake walk was really cool. It was definitely very physically hard, but beautiful. And just like that, I'm done for the day. It went by really fast. I'm thinking that maybe I'm just learning to zone out while I'm hiking, and that's making it seem faster. So that's a good thing. But a bad thing is that my phone is on 48% battery, so I hope it lasts a day and a half more. I'm kind of up a creek without a paddle if it doesn't. When I was close to finished with cooking my dinner, the flame just disappeared and there's nothing in it. That's fine because I have Pop-Tarts for breakfast, so no need to cook. I just have tomorrow night's dinner to cook, and I have ramen, so maybe I can cold soak that. It's going to be difficult because I got rid of my cold soak jar, but I'll figure it out. That's tomorrow's problem. It's a peaceful, rainy morning and the start to my last full day. I will miss some parts, like getting a good night's sleep in my tent, or cooking with my little cook set, but mostly I'm looking forward to being done, feeling that sense of accomplishment, and then going back to live in my van. I've been missing that. So good news, I am at Judge C. Magny State Park, and a ranger let me charge up my phone in their office. In that time, I got to dry off slightly, so I'm not soaked anymore. Damp still, and cold. But that took a little bit, so I have a lot of miles to do still left in this day. I'm gonna walk fast. The Devil's Kettle. I thought it was part of the Devil's Track River, but here we are at the Brew-S-A River. I guess the devil owns a lot of real estate in this area. Half of the Brew-S-A River keeps on going. The other half falls into a mysterious pit. Where does the pit go? No one knows. Actually, they do know. They figured it out. It goes underwater, but it's more mysterious if you don't know. Woo!
Woo!
It's 2:30 and I've walked 8.2 miles. On the day I went into Grand Marais, I walked 8 miles and it was 11:30. You can just never predict how fast you're gonna go.
Oh, I think...
As always, looking cool. My hat is in my bag, so I don't feel like stopping and getting it out. But these flies are trying to eat my scalp, so I use my handkerchief as a fashionable headscarf. My feet have been soaked all day, and now they're muddy and soaked.
So many mosquitoes. Oh my gosh, this is where it gets really rough. Conditions were tough.
No inches of my skin are showing right now, other than my hands, which are sprayed down in permethrin. What do these bugs want with me? It's miserable. I managed to get my tent up without getting too much water inside. I've been thinking, how would I get this up in the rain? So I was prepared. I also got my ramen soaking. I have warm clothes. I have my bed stuff, like my sleeping pad. But the thing is, how am I going to hang up my hiking clothes to dry overnight? Because I'm going to have to wear them tomorrow. It's not going to stop raining, I don't think. I don't know what to do. I'll probably just have to hike in wet clothes all day. I forgot to mention it's also a mosquito infestation in the vestibule of my tent. There's easily 100. It's disgusting.
Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. Oh, 2. Oh, a few more. Maybe like 20, you know. Oh, and let's see, plus 10, plus 50, plus 100. It was disgusting.
I somehow did it. I only opened my tent up a little bit so I could stick my hands out, and then I wrung out my clothes, hung them up as best I could using a tent. It's not going to be really good at all, but it's something. Now I've got everything situated. Now I'm all warm, really about to lay down after this and go to sleep. But now comes the best part. Food. It's got those veggies in there and everything. I'm not going to be able to brush my teeth tonight because I'm not getting out of this, but that's okay. Even though this day has sucked, at least there's food at the end of it. Tasty, cold, but good food. One last morning.
So just a recap. I didn't film a lot of that day because it was raining. But it was raining, all my clothes were wet, mosquitoes would not leave me alone. Like you saw in the tent, such a swarm of them. I was doing everything I could, bug net, bug spray, long sleeves and long pants, plus all my clothes were soaked, shoes soaked, so uncomfortable. And then in the rain, fighting mosquitoes, I set up my tent. I also remember having to go back outside to tie up my bear bag. I don't know. I think a lot of people, thank you for subscribing, Terry, if you're watching this. but a lot of people would have just kept their food in their tent and not gone back out in the rain. But I was like, oh, I don't want to miss. What's it called? Risk getting a mouse in my tent. Yeah, looks like in the chat we're all against mosquitoes. Oh my gosh, they were terrible. All right, so with that, let's watch my final day.
In the tent. I didn't sleep well, and it's cold outside, but it stopped raining. I'm on the trail at 9:30. It took extra long to get ready because I had to fight off the swarm of mosquitoes that was outside my tent. They were merciless. I must have killed hundreds of them, and they just kept coming. It's also, my shoes didn't dry, so my feet are like icicles. It's going to be a hard day. This trail isn't letting me off easy, huh? What a sign to see. Otter Lake Road, end of trail, 13.8 miles.
I'm hiking in the leggings I normally slept in, I think because my hiking pants were wet.
My last lunch spot, and it's a beauty. I can see Caribou Pond, which I just came from, the rolling hills. You can see where it's raining over Lake Superior. And if I'm lucky, this warm rock might help me dry out my soaking wet clothes. It's been a pretty nice day temperature-wise, but my legs and feet are freezing. And it's not even so much that they started wet, but they're getting more wet because the plants on the side of the trail are wet and brushing against me. Oh, it's so cold. But hopefully, this will do the trick. And now it's raining. Of course. Okay, but then the sun came back out again. But what a treat it was to see part of the landscape being rained on, part not, and I could tell the difference. I could see the rain clouds move. It was so cool. That's one thing I'll miss about this place.
I like that thought, Les. Look how
it's not raining today. Just a little showers every once in a while. But that's great. My shorts dried off. And my feet, my shoes and socks are still wet. But my socks are made of wool. So at least my feet are warm. This is taking forever though. I looked at my watch 4 times in the past 30 minutes. Oh, I'll get there eventually though. Made it to Andy Creek. That's the last campsite. I'm getting closer. What kind of track is this? Here's my shoe. For comparison, it's definitely not a deer track. My ankle tendon is hurting really bad again. Because of course it is! I took some acetaminophen, as my first aid kit calls it. But I'm really hoping the ankle doesn't slow me down. This is it! Only 1.2 miles left. In the first video in this series, I talked about being alone for so long, how that was going to affect me mentally. Well, really, I'm doing great. I find it more easy to be positive when I'm alone, because sometimes you gotta say this sucks when it sucks, and you move on. So with myself, I can admit it sucks, move on, and then go back to being positive instead of being completely positive or being completely down in the dumps. I also notice I walk faster when I'm alone. I don't know why that is psychologically. Maybe it's because I don't ask someone else for permission to stop and they may say no or yes. I ask myself for permission to stop and I'm always like, no, you're fine, keep going. Eat some snacks. My biggest takeaway from this trail is that I can get through just about anything. My ankle injury thunderstorms, heat, bugs, rain. It's been crazy, but I've gotten through it. But the trail has also taught me that sometimes I don't have to put myself through it. Like when I skipped the 10 miles in Duluth because I didn't want to figure out accommodation for another night. Or when I stayed an extra night in Silver Bay to let my ankle heal up. So in a sentence, I've learned self-discipline and self-compassion and when to use them. So if my goal is to go on adventures in each of the 50 states, and this is the adventure for state number 4, think about the possibilities of what's going to lie ahead. I'm so excited. Minnesota is a beautiful state, and I can't wait to explore more of the states. I think the view might be around this big rock coming up here, but don't forget, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I answer every one of them. I'd love to do an FAQ video, maybe, frequently asked questions video after this one, if enough people are interested, asking about the hike logistically, my experience on it, anything like that. I'd be more than happy to answer. Oh my goodness! I'm so excited. Should I run?
Always run. You gotta finish strong.
I did it! I made it! Woo! Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Hello, Canada! I did it! Now, I didn't pack a beer, unfortunately. That's a little heavy. But I do have a birthday cake flavored power bar to celebrate. Because it's my birthday into being an SHT finisher. If I can do this, I can do anything. Woo!
This just says blah blah blah. Thank you to everyone that helped me. Including us, you guys. We helped pass Maddie by watching. Oh, goodness. As you can see, hold on. What are you doing?
Story starts in Grand Marais.
No,
about
it doesn't.
50 miles from the.
We already watched that.
I spent about.
Why won't you stop? Okay, anyway. Seen without webpage. Oh my goodness. Did you guys notice me crying? These are actual tears in my eyes. Oh man. It just really hit me how like, yes, that was so hard. And there was, thank you, Wendy. Oh. Thank you, Rod. It was such an experience to be like, this is really hard. I'm alone, in pain, uncomfortable, and you just keep pushing, and then it's like this beautiful moment at the end. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I was kind of relieved to be done too, because that was so hard. Whenever I'm watching these videos or even just thinking about through hiking, I'm like, oh, I miss it so much. It's so great. And then when I'm on the trail, I'm like, get me out of here. Oh man. Emotional times. Oh my goodness. I'm crying. Also, thank you to everyone for keeping it chill in the chat today. This was awesome. It was so fun. Before we go, today I'm in Utah. It's been very, very cold recently, but especially it's going to be cold today and tomorrow. The high is like 47. For people that aren't from America, that's like, it's not freezing yet, but it's pretty uncomfortable. And it's going to be freezing overnight. So I was like, I really don't want to do that. What are the hotels like? This one that I found is a little over $100. Oh, thank you, CL. Appreciate it. Wendy says, tears of pride and accomplishment. Well earned and more to come. Thank you. But the hotel that I found, there was a hostel that was pretty cheap, but it was all full. So I found a hotel for $100. I was like, oh, that's more than I want to pay, and it's going to be 2 nights. But then I looked at my bank account, and I was like, you know what? I can afford it. If I can get out of that much coldness and be in comfort, that's okay. And really, by the way, you all, I haven't done my food delivery job in a while. I've just been able to live off of the money I made. There's your ping pong balls, CL, going in the tip jar and missing. But anyway, I'm using a lot of the money I make from YouTube to live off of. And so everyone that donates, or even if you just watch, I get money from ad revenue. Even if you hate me and you're just watching this to spite me, I'm getting money. So thank you to you too. And it's just amazing to not have to pinch pennies as much anymore. So let me give you a little tour of this hotel that I am so lucky to have. Here, we'll start with the view. It's getting dark. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a ridge and it's like cloudy on top. It's so cool. Got 2 queen beds. You know, that's just how it came with it. I get a little desk, so I'm going to, I got a desk, so I'm going to be able to work in style. Got microwave and fridge and gigantic, you can't really see anything, but gigantic, beautiful bathroom. It's so nice. I'm so warm and so just happy with, it's so much more convenient than my van. How do we get Maddie to 100K subs? That would be great. I don't know though. Sometimes when people are being mean to me, I'm like, I miss the days when I only had 1,000 subs and no one ever said anything mean. But that would be the dream, to be able to really live off it for a long time. Rod says we have to start sharing her videos. Oh, yeah, that would be great. Especially once I put out the documentary, I don't know why I said that like that, documentary. Yeah, thank you, Digitus. Oh gosh, you guys are too kind. Thank you. But that documentary, I'm hoping that is very shareable. It's going to be hard getting that to, like, I'm planning for it to be in about an hour or so. I want it to be not my normal around 20-minute videos, you know, where you just watch kind of casually, but I want it to be something you like sit down with a bag of popcorn to watch. So I'm working away on that. Right now I'm just starting to write the script. So, it's gonna be a long road. Send the mean people to Seattle. Okay. Show them Niagara Falls. Ooh, I love it. Alrighty. Well, thank you all again so much for being here. You're wonderful. This was a great chat. Really appreciate you reliving these memories with me. Oh my gosh. I love you all.